Doom is undeniably the grandfather of first-person shooters. Even if you have not played it yourself, you have definitely heard of it. The gameplay loop is easy to understand, which makes the game easy to pick up and learn. Strafe, eliminate the most dangerous enemies in any given encounter, and explore the map for secrets and loot. The modding community for Doom is truly enormous, and we would be here for months trying to shuffle through all of the different projects. But the first thing that comes to mind has to be the brutal Doom Project Brutality. That was my entry into the modding world of Doom. Project Brutality is great, more mechanics and quality of life features that are in line with modern first-person shooters. Nothing is wrong with an over-the-top power fantasy. The classic gameplay loop is enhanced with more engaging combat, and the sprite work for enemies' weapons are just mwah, chef's kiss. Even so, there is another mod that has enamored me for many years, and I want you to give it a chance. But I'm the chosen one. No, you are not, and that's part of the fun. Hideous Destructor is a mod for Doom and Free Doom created by Matt. HD is going to make you trade the classic quick movement and strafe-centric gameplay loop for something more methodical, harder, but deeply immersive. You are no longer going to run into rooms guns blazing, but breach them like in more tactical shooters. Fundamental changes have been made to all core mechanics: movement, inventory management, weapons, weapon handling and ballistics, medical, armor and enemies to an extent. You are now able to climb, dodge and roll, but your movement speed and agility is now intertwined with the inventory and stamina system. You can't sprint forever, and every item you pick up has weight. The bar at the corner of the screen shows your pocket space, and the numeric value and color represents encumbrance. The color code is easy to understand. Being at green level will allow you to move at great speeds and easily do maneuvers to get you out of harm's way, as well as allow you to climb higher. At yellow levels, you sacrifice mobility for increased firepower and battle load. Red levels will significantly decrease your movement speed and maneuverability. Be mindful of that when entering rooms with possible ambushes, as your firepower and ammo capacity won't save you if you can't get to cover quickly. Some of the weight limitations can be managed with backpacks. Backpacks weigh 100 blocks and reduce the weight of everything you store over 100 units. With a press of a button, the backpack can be dropped before an encounter and picked up after for restocking and moving on. Weapons now have recoil and demand more of your attention to hit enemies successfully. The new weapon bracing mechanic helps to mitigate recoil. Just crouch or brace your weapon to any geometry to decrease recoil. There is also a ballistic system present. Projectile enemies are no longer hit scanners, but most Doom map packs won't have long engagement distances for you to notice. Bottomless magazines are now replaced with a mag manager system that requires you to keep loose ammunition and spare magazines. Naturally, the magazines have to be replenished in between combat encounters. Your initial supplies, depending on your loadout, won't last for long, so scavenging ammunition from enemy weapons is a must. The mod has expanded the variety of ammunition calibers. The best part about it? It's not just for show, as each caliber now has its specific role. Shotgun shells are good against any soft, unarmored targets, but they have difficulty penetrating armored and shielded enemies. About that later. 9mm has low damage, low weight, but quickly overwhelms enemies with bleeding wounds and are great at defeating enemy shields. Just know that you are going to spend them quickly. .355 is a beefier round than the 9mm, providing more punch, but the only direct weapon utilizing the round is the revolver. Fun fact, the revolver can also use 9mm ammunition, but has problems retaining the rounds after the action gets opened. There are no speed loaders, so each chamber is going to have to be reloaded manually. 4mm caseless is your gold standard middle of the pack round. It is good at defeating soft targets and even armored targets, but struggles against shielded enemies. Another bonus is weight. You can carry several magazines without impacting your mobility. Theoretically, ammo is also abundant, since it's also the primary weapon of the majority of enemies. But the in-game lore for the ZM66 makes the use of dirty mags problematic. You won't be able to see the ammo counter properly, and the weapon is 10 times more prone to jamming. And a jam in the wrong time and place will end your run. In addition to that, don't get carried away with full automatic fire, as the weapon is capable of overheating and will cook off ammo in the chamber and dump the remainder of the mag in a hyperburst. 7mm is the bane of armored and shielded enemies, but the weight demand makes using them on weaker enemies almost a waste. I would probably keep a separate weapon for weaker enemies if the carried weight allows it. Energy weapons contain the Thunderbuster and the BFG. The Thunderbuster is effectively a lightning gun. The shot needs to be charged depending on the distance, leaving you exposed, but a well-placed bolt can demolish a pack of enemies. Just don't stand too close. BFG is very heavy, but can turn a room of strong enemies inside out at the cost of just 2 batteries. The energy ball has a high fall-off, so aim higher. Next, explosives. Grenades, grenade launcher, rocket launcher, and the Brontornis cannon. Pretty self-explanatory with the grenades. Lob them at angles or launch them through windows when you are clearing locations. Even the grenade patterns are simulated and randomized. Sometimes enemies can survive the blast with minor damage. The ZM66 and the Liberator rifle also are available with a grenade launcher attachment. In addition to rockets, rocket launchers can also take heat rounds that are capable of one-shotting even the largest enemies. Brontornis is well a cannon. The large caliber shell is able to punch through most heavy enemies. The downside is high recoil, so try to brace the weapon when possible. Honorable mention goes out to the Herp and Derp robots. Derp is a small pistol on wheels that you can use as a scout or a small support weapon. The capacity is only 15 rounds of 9mm ammo. Herp is essentially a turret, holding 150 4mm caseless rounds. It can also be hip-fired in a pinch. The enemy can also utilize both of these bots. Keep an ear out for their signature sounds. The medical system has received a complete rework. Gone are the days of picking up different shape and sized healing items to solve all of your problems. The health bar may be hidden, but it's still there. Without specialized medical equipment, the only thing visible for you on the HUD is your current blood amount, the long bars, and heart rate, the short bars. Successful enemy ballistic hits cause deep bleeding wounds that require stitching. Blood loss impacts your maximum stamina, and the pain raises your heart rate, affecting accuracy. Use the medikit to check your status. Close all open wounds. Imps have a chance to set you on fire. If that's the case, don't forget to stop, drop, and roll. Use Stimpaks to manage pain and temporarily increase your performance, but moderation is key. Too many too often will stop your heart. Fire causes burns that reduce your maximum health. Burns can be healed using medikit charges, but take a lot of juice and causes severe pain. Lost blood can be replenished with the second blood packs. Getting hit by balefire is almost certainly a death sentence. It is going to take a lot of resources to get you back on your feet. Armor has been changed from a value to a physical item. Green, now garrison, and blue, now black, also known as battle armor, offer different bonuses. Battle armor is heavy and oriented more against projectile protection. I got hit twice, once in the back, once in the front, and it did not penetrate. Battle armor's only weakness is that it is brittle. 2 successful shotgun hits almost completely destroyed the armor. Garrison armor is light and provides good resistance against elemental and projectile damage. At pristine condition, it will even be able to stop a couple of 4mm rounds. Still, it's best just not to get hit. The enemy roster has stayed the same, but significant changes have been made to all enemies and their behavior. Zombie soldiers have been expanded. There is now an SMG variant as well as an armored marine variant. Shotgunners have now a double barrel variant. Imps that throw fireballs now travel faster, which will require you to utilize the dodge mechanic. Imps also are now split into mages and healers. Mages throw homing fireballs and have a firestorm attack. Healer imps will resurrect fallen enemies, so dispatching them now is a priority. They can also resurrect dead former marines who are laying around any given map. Pinky demons are now ninja pirates that are cloaking and will try to ambush you and take a bite out of you each chance they get. Worse now, they are also shielded. They have lesser brethren called babuins. Demonic enemies larger than imps, ninja pirates, mancubi, hell knights and barons, spiders and cyber demons now have bale shields. As I briefly mentioned in the weapons section, ammunition calibers have varied performance against these shields. Echo Demon balls now have a chance to shock you when they pass you by, as well as splash damage. Archviles teleport and curse you when killed. The curse has a set amount of power that resurrects enemies. Word of advice: camp near weak enemy corpses to dwindle the curse. Bonus if the enemy is a humanoid that drops spare ammo when killed again. Demon enemies contain frag energy that sometimes escape right before they die. It is capable of returning to any dead enemy on the map. Here's how to set up Hideous Destructor. I'm assuming we will dip into add-ons soon enough, so first let's get a launcher. All links will be in the description. I use AceCorp Launcher by Accensus, as it makes load orders easy. After selecting the engine and the IWAD, first add the map pack. Then add Hideous Destructor. After that you are good to launch. First things first, bind the keys. HD will demand more of your input into various actions, so try not to space out the keys too much. When that's done, you are ready to slay the tyrant's forces. It is no secret that modern video games have spoiled us with always improving graphics, sound, and quality of life features. Luckily for us, the HD community has been hard at work creating add-ons that improve almost every aspect of the mod. And with only a couple of add-ons you can improve your experience greatly. Ugly as Sin by Caligari87 is almost a quintessential first add-on to expand HD. Among other things, it adds a corpse looting feature that pleases a loot goblin like me. A deeper medical system that I personally like better than the HD vanilla one. Don't like the stock soundscape of the weapons? Insurgency SFX by Elite Spy, or Heretic's hideously high quality resounds by a fornicating heretic change all vanilla weapon and weapon handling sounds. Want a larger variety in weapons? Pepper Grinder by Sledge, Pretty Fist, Eric, Elite Spy, Melodica, and Bangers and Mash by Potato Bloke are the best vanilla friendly weapon packs available. I also find that the weapon wheel is also a nice thing to have, especially when the arsenal becomes bloated. I have always loved dynamic music, and one of the earliest examples from my childhood was Siphon Filter for the PS1. The music had one rhythm that would change when combat begins. Bonus glitch. Dynamic Doom Music Mod brings this experience to Doom. Download the mod and your desired soundtrack. Add the listed add-ons to the load order. And you have now turned this into this. Hideous Destructor is truly a one-of-a-kind experience, a grounded tactical shooter against supernatural forces. I believe it is a mod that won't insult your intelligence, and after you get over the steep learning curve, you will have genuine fun. A cleared room will turn into a cleared map, and after you will successfully complete any map pack, you will get an itch that will see you return to this experience time after time after time.